What's going on? Today in this video today, I wanted to go over some things. I apologize, I'm a little bit snuffly right now. I don't even know if you can really hear it on that side, but I definitely am. Wanted to go over some things that can sort of separate yourself from the competition here in medical device sales. Sometimes you inherit a territory that's very, competitively driven. Essentially, what I mean by that is they have been using a competitor for a very long time, and it's essentially your job to come in and take them out. Which is, a very hard task. Doesn't happen right away. I sort of slowly inching towards getting cases, more surgeries, or, more products, depending on what you're doing. So just want to give my experience from this. I inherited a territory that was zeroed out and then was doing, I think it was 178% to plan within the first year. So this is something I feel a little bit more knowledgeable to speak about. So without further ado, we'll get right into it. So I can't stress this one enough, being early wherever you're going to go, whether that's getting up early, essentially like 4 a.m., whether that's getting to your hospital early, do something early, because in that time when it's early, you're not going to have many people messaging you. It's before business hours. You can get your game plan together. And, that shows a lot of values to physicians. If it's in the OR or something related, that means you're going to be getting to the OR early, show up before the physicians, turn the lights on as they speak. They're going to like that. If you're the person that catches that there's something not in the tray before they actually get started, and they can essentially one tray it, which essentially that means a rapid sterilization technique, and you were the guy that caught that before, they needed it, you're the hero. But you would have never had that opportunity had you shown up not early. Number 2 is never be on your phone. Surgeons see this all the time. They see you wherever you're at. If you're on your phone, even if you're looking at like notes apps on your phone, something like that, they don't know that. They think you're just texting other people. They think you're disinterested in what they're doing. And what they're doing is pretty incredible, especially if, you're in like neurosurgery and spine, stuff like that. They're working on brains and spines. When else are you going to get that opportunity to observe that kind of thing? Without being there? And what other job would you be able to get where you could do that, and especially have the opportunity to make all that money that you're going to be making here? So never be on your phone. When you're there, be present. If you need to, get an Apple Watch. That's something that I actually haven't done yet, but I will be doing here pretty soon, just so you can get all the notifications to your watch and just look at them in case any emergency pops up. Another one, and this is what I do a lot of the times, if you don't have any cases still show up that day, there could be restock, you could be roaming the halls, there could be a trauma that comes in. If you work at like a level 1 trauma hospital like I do, you're going to get a lot of things that can potentially happen there. And if you're already there in the hospital, something comes in, you can just bip up, get it quicker than a competitor could. That's going to show the surgeon that you're involved and you want to be involved and you care about what they're doing. So that's going to go a long way with them. Another one is utilizing LinkedIn. LinkedIn is an amazing sales tool. You can go on things like Sales Navigator, where you can just niche down and look for specific targets that way. But for the sake of this video, look at different spine journals, articles, and try and find something that's of value to your surgeons. Could be, your company related or not, but just try and find value to them and bring something to them. So, be like, oh, hey, like so-and-so, I saw this article, you might find this interesting, I did. And then you bring that to them and they're seeing that you're doing things that, it's not just a monetary value with you. You're trying to bring them things that they're going to enjoy. So utilize LinkedIn. You can find a lot of cool things on there, a lot of cool articles, a lot of cool physician groups. So go ahead and utilize that. So this is a big one for me. If your surgeons ask you to do something, whether it's your product or not, let's say if they want to use someone else's screws, but they'll use your whatever, be okay with that. Be in the room, help out the competitor, help out that, because the surgeon looks and they see that, and then they don't view you as a threat. They know if they have to do this thing in the future, you're still going to be the guy that they can rely on to get that stuff done. Being in the room, making it awkward with competitors, trying to get too salesy in that room is probably going to do you more harm than good, at least in my experience with this. So anything you can do whenever they're asking you to do something that might be a little bit uncomfortable, just think about it from their shoes. They want to use something specific for the patient, and if the rep is telling them, no, I don't want to do that, just because, it's not going to look as good monetarily for me, that's not going to be good. So just always think about their shoes first. That'll go a long way with them. So this is another one for me too. Show up for your associate territory managers. If your surgeons see that you're throwing in the associates to do a lot of work and, you're at home all the time, not doing anything, they're going to get pretty pissed that way. Show face, make sure that you're helping out your associates. I've never met a surgeon that hasn't loved teaching, so they're gonna like seeing you teaching the associates that are under you. because they're going to know that you care and want to do a good job. And then, you know, when you might not be in the space anymore, these people can like take your shoes, and it will be a much easier process than had, you know, you just left them with it and let them to their own accord. And this is another one: be knowledgeable on other company products. Because if a surgeon has a question about either like another company product or something, like let's just say a specific bone graft that isn't yours, you know, one of those demineralized bone matrices, those kind of things, it's always good that you know that, because then you can sort of be the guy that they can come to for any product. You can sort of be like a mixed bag and know a lot about the product. It's also going to help you on the sales side too, because then you can sort of carve out the narrative for like why yours is better. You might want to utilize ours, you know, yours in a specific environment. So be always on the hunt for knowledge about other companies, either hardware or instrumentation, enabling technologies, DME, that kind of thing. It's only going to help you out. So LinkedIn's down below. Definitely hit that subscribe button if you can. It's the only way it goes out to more people. So without then, you know, feel free to message me.